Hello there, Svennyboy here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Kill the Messenger, directed by Michael Quaster. I really enjoyed this movie. I like that whole conspiracy sort of movies. It's really great. It's got Jeremy Renner, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ray Liotta, Michael Sheen, Robert Patrick, Andy Garcia, a bunch of big names in here, and it's really good. It's an intense movie as well. So basically, the plot of the movie: a reporter named Gary Webb becomes a target of a vicious smear campaign that drives him to the point of suicide after he exposes the CIA's role in arming Contra rebels in Nicaragua, which are the rebels in Nicaragua, which is in Central America. And he exposes the CIA's role in importing cocaine into California. What made this movie so interesting is it was based on a true story. That's why I really liked it. At the start of the movie, he's reporting on the federal government taking houses, cars, pretty much any assets of supposed drug dealers, and taking the money before they've been indicted. So they haven't been fully charged with what they have. But yeah, that's what he's reporting on at the start. And what I liked about this movie a lot was that it touched on the real Rick Ross, who was a crack cocaine kingpin back in the day. I mean, the Rick Ross we know now is the rapper Rick Ross. He adopted that name as his stage name from the real Rick Ross, which I like that because a lot of people don't really know of the real Rick Ross, which was really cool. And they also reference to the CIA having people in power in places that they can sort of bend the rules a bit, and sort of avoid the newspapers from looking at what the CIA is doing, which was pretty cool. It was cool how they did that. They sort of dropped that in there. I was like, oh, nice. So yeah, basically he releases an article he wrote, and after he'd done some solid research, he's released an article out to the public, and it's been published, and it's about the CIA and them shipping drugs into the US from Nicaragua. And everything, it all starts going well for him. Like, he starts getting the recognition he wants, and it starts building up and whatever. He gets Journalist of the Year, which is great for him. You see him in celebrating shots, everyone's all happy. But then it starts to happen when it starts to go downhill. Like, one of the guys he spoke to in Nicaragua, they flash back to a scene, and that guy gets kidnapped, and then alright, here we go, it's gonna go downhill now. But it's so well done. Like, I really enjoyed this. There's a scene in his room at night where he's lying in bed and he can hear someone's in his room, and he turns around and it's Ray Liotta, who's playing the character of John Cullen, who used to work for the CIA. He got hired straight out of college, and he was an informant. So now he's going to tell him, he's sort of confessing to him about what he did. And he gives this amazing quote. Just bear with me. He says, "You're attracted to the power, then you become addicted to the power, then you're devoured by the power." Which I thought, is really good. I was like, wow, this is some good stuff. There was also another quote that I liked in the movie. It was said by Andy Garcia, who plays Norwin Meneses. He says, "I'm going to tell you the whole truth. I'm going to introduce you to people you should talk to, and then you should be faced with the most important decision of your life." And Gary Webb says, "And what's that?" And he said, "Deciding whether to share it or not." Which sort of contrasts the fact that, sharing the truth can be deadly. Like, a lot of people, they want to hear it, but they don't want to hear the truth, which is... It's pretty scary when you think about it. I mean, the fact that throughout the movie the CIA is destroying his life. I mean, they haven't attacked his family as of yet, but they're pretty much crumbling his whole reputation and everything around him. It's pretty scary like that. You could sort of put that one... there's a scene where they have him in an office with a bunch of the agents, and they say, "Oh, we won't harm you kids." And he's like, "What did you say?" So he's like, I'm gonna write this article," and he gets up and leaves. But then things started to happen where he was in he checked out the window at his house. It was nighttime. He checked out, and he could see a shadow behind his car. He could see someone, and throughout the whole movie, I was just waiting for, you know, the famous car bomb, where like you'll get in it and start it up and it'll just explode. I kept waiting for that, but it never happened. But yeah, you see the guy behind, someone behind the car. You don't know who it is, and he comes outside and he fires a warning shot, and then the dude runs off and he chases him and he's just gone. But and then after that scene, he calls the police to come in. He's got, what he didn't realize is he had two agents from the CIA watching his house. So he's talking to the police, and while he's talking to the police, the agents somehow get underneath inside his house where he's keeping all his information about his, you know, the case that he's on at the moment. And they're just going through his documents, just reading it all. His son starts screaming, and anyways, he comes down and gets him out of there. That's when he sort of like, shit, this is dangerous. Like, at the end of the movie, they have some text that comes up on the screen, and you read it, and they're talking about how the director of the CIA, you know, retired after a month because he had sort of gone to a whole press conference in front of everyone, and they asked him questions and whatnot, but he ended up retiring after a month. And the one thing which tends to shock me, I mean, not anymore. I've sort of done my own research into things like this, and I've sort of gone, you know, it tends to happen. The CIA released documents, a 400-page document later, talking about the importing of drugs, but it was overshadowed because the media all their attention onto the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky scandal, which is not that important. I mean, the 400-page document talking about the CIA, you know, importing drugs into the US is probably more important than that. But it just, you just sort of see how they tend to do that. I mean, with a lot of things, they tend to distract people with that sort of stuff. But nonetheless, I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. It was a great movie. There was a lot of truth in this movie. My personal opinion. If you want to do your own research, by all means. The one thing I didn't realize, though, is at the end, like, the ending was a bit weird. I mean, yeah, sure. Like, the movie ended, and then the scenes after there were just like, it was the text scene, and then it was sort of real life footage. But it was a weird ending. Like, Gary's just walking up, and then he's like, oh, I'm just gonna go for a bit, and his son's like, oh, don't go too far. And then he walks up the escalator, and he's gone. And then that's it. I was like, what? You know, give me some closure. Like, what happened? Like, how did he end up coping after this, or what? Because before that happened, it was, he had a big speech in front of everyone, and he's like, oh, I believe my job is to tell the truth, you know, with the facts and all. People may not like it, but it's the truth. I was just shocked at that ending. I was like, oh, why'd they end it like this? I was also shocked I didn't realize that he died. Yeah, like 7 years later, it was ruled an apparent suicide. He was found in a hotel room with 2 gunshot wounds to his head. So yeah, in conclusion with this video, I really like this video because, I mean, I'm all into that sort of stuff, so I really, really enjoyed it. I'll give this a 9 out of 10 for sure. It was great. Great. Yeah, I definitely recommend you go see it or download it. I don't think it's in cinemas anymore, but download it or buy it, whatever. It's really, really good. So yeah, if you like this video, just like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and if you could share that with whoever, friends or whatever, friends, family, that'd be greatly appreciated. So wherever you are, have a great night or day, and till next time. See ya.